let's move over a little bit so you can see the workstation. Okay. So we have left over from our last class these 2 strips of the owl paper, and it could be any other paper if you don't have that left over. The strips are 5 by 12, and we have 2 of them, which are going to go on our paper like so. And then what I did was I created these brown strips, just almost like a background. And you'll see as the page is going together how these strips come together. So we're going to start, and I'm just going to move this over so you can kind of still get an idea of what it's going to look like. We're going to start with our peach background of paper. And we're going to, I'm just going to grab my strip of paper here. I can't find my tape runner. As we say, we lose our corner rounders and our tape runners, right? Okay, so we have our strip of paper. We're going to take our owl paper, and we're going to make sure the owls are going up and down the way they are. If you have them that they're going across, then you're just going to create your paper where your owls are going across. What I want to do is tape it so that it is about a ½ inch from the edge of the paper. So on this particular mat, the new 13 by 13 mat, it has the measurements on the outside of the paper. The older mats did not. So I can actually see exactly where that ½ inch mark is. So I'm just going to flip over my 5 by 12 strip of paper. And I'm going to put it right at that ½ inch mark. So it's showing about a ½ inch of the peach color to the tangerine color paper on the edge of that strip. So even that in itself is really cool, a really cool look to your page, and it just gives you a different look on a page. If you're putting pictures on it, you can actually throw your pictures right on just like that, and it would look awesome. But we're going to take it another step. What I did was I made these 1½ inch strips of brown paper. So you take out your chocolate paper, and we're going to take our trimmer and put in our decal blade. The decal blade is the yellow one if you have it. If not, you can use a regular straight edge. It's not going to hurt because your owls actually do have a straight edge on that strip, so it won't matter. But I wanted to do the decal blade because I wanted it to look a little bit like the edge of a tree, and the decal blade gives it a torn look. So I want to start by just trimming off just a little slice on the edge so that both sides of my strip are going to have that decal edge to it. So I start with just giving a decal edge to my paper. I can get rid of this tiny little strip. I don't need it. So now my paper has that torn edge look. I'm just going to move it over to 1½ inches, and I'm going to cut again. So you just want to make sure that your edges of the decal are all on the 1½ inch strip. I cut again with that decal blade. So now when I put my paper down, it has that torn look on both sides. I'm going to do, you can do 6 of these. And the reason I say you can do 6, there's 3 on each page, 3 lines of the brown, or you can do 4 of each so that you have 2 lines. And for this particular layout, I'm going to do the 2 lines because my original had the 4 lines, and that way you can see it with 2 and with 4. So like I said, I mean 2 or 3 on each page. So what I'm saying is you can cut out 6 of them, or you can cut out 4 of them. So these strips are 1½ by 12 inches with the decal blade. So like I said, I have 2 more for my other page. On my original here, I actually did 3 strips. And so you could do 3 strips. This is how I laid it out. and then put my squares on top. For this one, I want a little bit more of the tangerine showing. So I'm just going to move these and kind of center them, place them so that they look symmetrical here, and put 2 strips on it. And that way I'll have a little bit more of the tangerine showing. So you're just going to tape those down. So I have my 2 strips. I'm going to go over a little further on this one. Okay. So you have your strips taped down, and then it's just a matter of creating your boxes. And my boxes are the same as I did in the last page, where the I took the navy blue and I cut boxes. Now remember to go back to your straight edge blade. And you can actually do this in the decal blade as well. I'm going to use my straight. And I'm going to take the navy blue. I'm going to cut 2 boxes that are 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5 by 4.5. So what I do is I put my navy paper in and I put it at the 4.5 inch mark. And then just turn it and cut it again at the 4.5 inch mark. 4.5.
Alice, should we be cutting 2 of them or 4 of them?
You can cut 4 of them because you're going to need 2 for each side of your page.
Thanks.
Good point. Thank you. Okay, so we're going to do 4 of them. So we're going to cut again 4.5 inches. And then just turn your page so it your paper so you're cutting it 4.5 again. So you have 4 of these boxes that are 4.5 by 4.5. And just for my layout, what I'm going to do is take 2 of them and just put them on here so I have an idea where they're going to be. And they're pretty much just going to be in the center of those 2 brown strips. And actually what I'm going to do, because I think it'll look cooler with just 2 of them, I'm actually going to move them closer together. I think that's going to look better. That multi-purpose tool just is great for doing this. Okay. So now if I put my 2 boxes on, you see a little bit more of the peach there. And then what I'm going to do is make a strip across the bottom. So you have your sheet of striped paper. I'm going to cut a 1 inch strip, actually two of them, a 1-inch strip, and make sure it's going so that your stripes are going up and down on your 1 inch. So you want to cut horizontally across those stripes. So I'm going to take the stripes, I'm going to turn the paper into my trimmer so the stripes are horizontal on the trimmer, and I'm going to cut a 1-inch strip and then cut another one. So you have two 1-inch strips so that your strips have the stripes showing. So I have two of those. And then I'm going to use, with the rest of the paper, I'm going to cut 4x4 squares, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is put it in at the 4-inch mark. And then I'm just going to turn it and cut it at the 4-inch mark again. And we should be able to get 3 out of that one strip, 3 of these boxes. And these are going to go inside those blue squares that you just did. One more. Okay, so out of that striped paper, I have 4 of these 4x4 squares and 2 strips of 1-inch paper. And then the last thing I want to cut, and again with the decal blade, is if you notice I did a strip, this strip behind the striped paper I did with the oatmeal color. That is 1.5 inches wide, and I did it with the decal blade. You can do it with the oatmeal color, or if you want to do it with the navy blue, either one will work. And again, that was with the decal blade one more time. I just love the look of the little rough edge to it. And remember, when you're doing the decal blade, you want to cut a little bit off first so that both sides have that decal edge. And again, that was 1.5 inches wide. And that strip, that 1.5 inch strip, will go behind your striped paper. So it just gives a little bit of edge to your striped paper. It gives it a little bit of a background edge. It would probably look great in the navy blue also if you have extra of the navy blue. So now it's just a matter of taping it together. So you're going to take your 1-inch stripe and you're going to tape it down onto that oatmeal decal blade 1.5 inch strip. So I'm just assembling all my pieces here. So I have my strip, it looks like this with the oatmeal showing behind it. That's going to go across the bottom. And then my squares of striped paper are going to go inside the navy blue squares. Let me know if I'm going too fast. So the strip I put across the bottom, I did it about 1/2 inch from the bottom, just to kind of show off the colors of paper underneath. So I have that about 1/2 inch just to show the bottom of the paper. And then these squares I tilted on the brown stripes. So I have one this way, and these squares can really be used as a spot for pictures, or it can also be just decoration on your page. So depending on how many pictures you have to put on your page, you can put your 2 pictures on your page over here, and then leave those as decoration, as embellishments, and you can put your owls or any other embellishments on there, or you can actually make these squares for your pictures, or you can cut your pictures down and have that striped paper be another part, another mat to your pictures. So either way, again, I'm using those pictures just as an idea for your page. I would probably tilt these as well, just so that it kind of matches, and probably I would mat these in the blue as well, so it matches the squares over here. But very, very cool page layout. And then it's just really a matter of embellishing the way you want with what you have left in your packs. So that's one side. Again, you can see the difference. I used 2 of the brown strips instead of 3. So on my other page, I would do the same thing for the other side. So just to show you putting it together, all my pieces are cut out. I'm just going to take that tangerine piece behind the paper. I'm going to put down my owls first. And I did that about a ½ inch from the edge. Let's put this on my line. And then I did my 2 strips of brown. Keep on my fingers. Put my strip of that striped paper in the center of my strip of oatmeal. I just want to say it like Frosty the Snowman, you know, oatmeal. Anybody catch that reference? You guys are so quiet. Okay. And then again, this strip of paper, this strip with the stripes, I put about a ½ inch from the bottom just to show off the colors through the bottom of the page. And then I built my squares that tilt over the brown stripes. And there's your page. So you tell me what you like better. Do you like it better with the 2 stripes or the 3 stripes?